dialing in for our Dollar Day or Dollar Evening promotion. The tent area with all the dollar items is all set up and ready to go. Dollar hot dogs, domestic beer, Pepsi, popcorn, programs, general admission. So it should be a big night.
Yeah, it should be a great night. In baseball, they had some people doing the 9-9-9 challenge. We had 12 races tonight. Think anyone could do 12, 12, 12? 12 beers, 12 hot dogs, and 12 races? Man, it might be tough.
Dollar hot dogs, you can usually put a few of those away, but, boy, I don't know. I'm not a beer drinker, but
12 seems
even
a little,
drinking 12
12
Diet
Pepsi. We'll go
Pops.
Pepsis then, yeah. Diet Pepsis.
I could probably pull that off. With Rodney Nelson, I'm Jim Byers. Thanks for joining us. We got to move a little bit since we have 12 races. We're going to give you our analysis, our picks. I've got a couple of bombs tonight. There was one vulnerable favorite that scratched. We'll see if my big swing is a swing and a miss or a hitter, a winner. Race 1. This is kind of one of these races where somebody's going to wake up and win. I mean, there's only one horse in here that has ever run this 440-yard distance. These are 2-year-olds, so they haven't been stretched out as far. That'll be a challenge. These are maidens seeking their first career wins. Scratch the 10, Esther B.
Yeah, so like you said, maiden race. Where do we go here? I went with number 4, Corona Conquers You. I mean, this horse has had 3 races so far, one at Sam Houston, a couple at Retama Park. Had a good improvement from race 1 to race 2. Last time out, faced Texas Breds, ran a decent third, missed about 3/4 of a length in that one. I'm going to go ahead and give the nod here to Corona Conquers You. I got number 5, Miss Ranger, as my second choice. This horse had a second-place finish 2 starts back. Is it 300 yards? And like you said, there's only one that's been this distance before, so going to have to stretch out a little bit. But, I think Miss Ranger can get up there, finish in the mix. And then number 2, Diamond in the Rough. This horse has a lot of experience, 7 races so far. Hadn't hit the board in any of those 7 races, but last time this horse was in for the $20,000 tag, drops in here to $7,500. Let's see what happens with the 2. 4, 5, and 2 in the opener.
Yeah, we're both on the 4, 6-1 on the line. We'll see where he ends up. The Dam, I'm Not Hillary of the 4 has produced some good runners for Sarah Husky, the owner and breeder of this horse. His last race was pretty good. His numbers have been improving. His performance is improving somewhat, time over time. There isn't a whole lot to beat in here, so I'm taking him as well. Miss Ranger is on her 3rd trainer. First time out for the Current Barn. The Current Barn has good stats overall this year, but, except for one race at Fair Meadows in Tulsa in June, she hasn't shown much. The only horse that has gone 440 is Political Policy. The 3 sheds the Lasix today, has been really overmatched. You can look at the odds and just see odds in past races and see that she was in very tough before. I'm going to throw her in 3rd just in case. Race number 2. Pretty obvious top 3, let's say, in this race. And actually pretty obvious top 2. Usually when I say that, you pick somebody else, and I feel awkward. 350 yards, Texas Breds, non-winners of 3.
Yeah, Mountain Air, number 3. I mean, last time this horse ran was in the All-American Futurity. Of course, that was last year, though, but, was fast enough to get into that All-American Futurity last year with the best of the best. Has been off for about a year. A little over a year, but did have a workout back on the 6th of September. Wasn't a bad workout out here. I'm going to go ahead and give this one the check mark here off of that All-American qualifying running in that race. Number 4, Apolitical Lilo. That's going to be my second choice. Last time out, this horse ran 10th, but had a bad start in that race. It did come right here, but let's toss that one out because, the start just eliminated the horse. Was back by 5, as soon as they started. But if you look at the races before that, this horse had a couple wins, ran in the TQHA, Sales Sophomore.
Yeah.
Ran second in that one. Not a bad race at all. Apolitical Lilo, this horse can run very nice. And then I took number 2, Chili's, as my 3rd choice. 3rd last time out in the trial at Sam Houston. That was at 400 yards. Only missed by a length in that one. This horse has run the distance 4 different times and has yet to hit the board, but has been in against much tougher. I think this allowance spot might do well for Chili's to get up and hit the board. I got it 3, 4, and 2. In race 2.
Yeah, we're very similar. I just swapped 3rd and 4th picks with you. Mountain Air has an additional work that we'll be announcing. It was September 22nd. here at Lone Star on a sloppy surface, 220 and 12:42 breezing. So the Steinbow operation putting another more recent work than that pretty fast September 6th work in him for his comeback after a year away. And I think he, is a pretty clear favorite, but a lot of it does rely on getting out of the gate. I mean, last time Apolitical Lilo was highly regarded in a race at this level, but against Open Company, and just completely blew it at the start. Race 3, good fillies and mares in this one. This is a really good race, a tough race. A lot of cases can be made for multiple fillies and mares in this one. It's the Cox Ranch Lone Star Distaff Challenge. The winner of this race can get a bid on Championships Night in the Grade 1 Cox Ranch Distaff for fillies and mares.
Yeah, so I took the horse that's on the inside right here, Fabulous Casina. This horse is coming in here off a 3-race win streak. I like that. I talked about that last night. We had a couple horses that were going for their third win, and one of them actually picked up 3 in a row. We'll see if Fabulous Casina can't get 4 in a row. And this horse was the winner of the TQHA Sale sophomore last time, won a stakes race before that. Has been this 400 yards last time out, won it by a length and a half, a pretty decent margin of victory there. Apolitical Lilo, that horse we were talking about in the previous race, ran second, went on to win his next race. Yeah. A very solid one there. We've seen Fabulous Casina beat horses like Ember's Time. We remember Ember's Time out here. It was a pretty quick one. I like the rail spot for this one. We've seen last night the ones toward the inside were running well.
Especially early in the card. Now, it was a pretty even track last night, but early on, the insides were flying.
And it's good that this one's an early race then. If you notice that.
I mean, if you believe that racetracks are kind of living entities that can adjust, I don't know if they can over the course of a card, but the inside last night was certainly good.
Yeah, so I'm not afraid to take that inside rail. Fabulous Casina, I think this horse takes it. Number 5, Isa Wagging My Tail. That's going to be my second choice, your top choice. I mean, this horse was a winner last time out. That was a stakes race at Remington. Won a trial race for the Heritage Place Oaks before that, or second in the Heritage Place Oaks trial before that. Isa Wagging My Tail could run well. Had a decent workout back on the 6th of September, 4:46 on the morning. And then I got number 3, Cowgirl Up, as my third selection here. I've only had 2 races so far this calendar year. The most recent one was the Miss for Thomas Stakes, was a winner of that one by a nose that came at 400 yards. So we'll see if she's ready to go tonight. 1, 5, and 3 is how I see this Cox Ranch Distaff Challenge.
Cowgirl Up also, who is my second pick, your third. 2 races back in June, ran against I'm a Chili, who is the only 2-time winner of this meet so far, and he's won 2 Texas bred stakes. Really nice win last night for him in the B.F. Phillips Jr. And, she was within a length of him. She's really sharp. Your top pick, Fabulous Casina, maybe not quite as tested against these, but usually hits the board and is very sharp. Flying Sophia, I mean, this is a filly that was only beaten a half length last September, a year ago, in the All-American Oaks Grade 1 race at Ruidoso. She kind of seems to have gone a little bit downhill then, and she's coming off a layoff. So I'm taking the 5, Isa Wagging My Tail. I think it's interesting for her that Mark Youngers opted to run her on closing day at Remington this spring in the Jack Brooks, which is an Oklahoma-bred Grade 3 race, rather than the Juno's Request, which Flying Sophia ran in and ran 5th. The Juno's Request is a filly mare Grade 1, and I would have thought maybe Isa Wagging My Tail might have had a shot in that. Maybe he just felt the competition was a little too stiff. Curl's Joyful Wagon is really, really good, won that race. But anyway, she won that race. She's been off, but she's training well. So I'm going to give her the look. That's a really interesting race. If you like win bets, there's several that you could bet to win in that race. Pretty much all of them could make a case.
At least make a case for all of them, I'm sure.
Fourth race. Scratch the 11, EM Royal Secret, Texas-bred maiden claimers in for a selling price of $5,000, and they'll go the quick 220.
Yeah, I'm taking the horse on the far outside, number 10, JLC Double Dog Dare. This horse has been out to the racetrack 4 different times. Most recent race was a third-place finish, missing by half a length in that one. You'll see this horse had a couple good finishes in maiden claiming races, one for $10,000 against State Breds back in June. Finished fifth, but was only beaten by 3/4 of a length in a 300-yard race. And then that most recent one where I was talking about this horse running third in that one by half a length, that was in for the $7,500 tag, so drops just a little bit here. We'll see if Double Dog Dare can't get it done from the outside. Bellatrix, the number 6. It's going to be my second choice. That's your number 1. So go ahead and talk about Bellatrix.
She takes blinkers off today. Last time out was at this $5,000 level, but she was facing Open Company. That makes a lot of difference in thoroughbreds when you go from Open Company to Texas breds. Quarter horses, I don't know how much difference that makes, quite honestly. A lot of fast Texas breds out there, and I'm just really not sure how much difference it makes. But she ran a really close third in Open Company the last couple of times. Her only starts of this year. Omar Acosta has won a couple of races already this year in tandem with Jorge Mares Jr., and I just think she's sharp, takes the blinkers off, so I gave her the look on top. And, yeah, so we're basically the same otherwise, 1 and 4. By the way, Ali Rivera off all his mounts, so we'll have announcements. If you're interested in the 1, time for Cholitos, we'll have replacements as we go. Race 5. 2-year-old filly maiden claimers. 7,500 the tag, 250 yards the distance. An important scratch here. I was trying to beat her anyway, but the 1 flying to the front, the morning line favorite, is out. The 11 and 12 are out as well. I think this is super wide open. This is a level where I'm going to swing for the fences.
All right. I'm not so much swinging for the fences. I'll probably have what's the Post-Time favorite now, GBH Zip. Last time out wasn't the best race for this horse. Finished fifth, beaten by 2 3/4. Didn't have it that day, but if you look at the 2 races before there, where he actually finished the race, a third missing by half a length, a second missing by half a length. One of them came at the $10,000 claiming level. The other one was in a futurity trial down at the Gillespie County Fairgrounds. I think GBH Zip can have a nice one. I got number 2, My Real Deal, as my second choice. Horse was well beaten last time out. Got cut off is what the comment says. Just really had no chance. But if you look at the race before that, the horse was in for $5,000. Ran a nice one there. Missed by a neck in that maiden race. I'll give My Real Deal the nod for second. And then I got number 10, 1 Harley Quinn, as my third choice. The horse is coming from the outside. Was in for the $25,000 tag at Sam Houston last time this horse ran. Drops in here for $7,500. Should find some relief here tonight. Hopefully can get a good start, unlike this horse has had in her previous 2 starts.
With both the 1 and the 7, I thought there were issues that I'm going to try to pick a long shot here. Now, the 1 is out. 7 has definitely run 2 races that if GBH Zip runs her first or third races back, she overwhelms the field. But she has 1 race where she bucked and another one where she was 3-1 against much better maidens and just kind of ran down there. But still, she could, just off that race, probably win this. But I'm going to try Little Evelyn, GR, number 9. Will pick up a different rider. Miguel Ortega just the other day won his first race. He was the one that got
he was the
bath.
I missed
that
one,
right?
but I did see the replay from Jonathan Vasquez.
Yeah, it was a wonderful performance by the horse and rider. Nonetheless, he's off. A rider named Luis Palacios is on. Little Evelyn takes blinkers off. Debuted in March, so has had 6 months off since her last race. That was an Oklahoma futurity trial, open grade 2. The best, most precocious young horses in the region point for that race. You have to really be ready to go in March to go in a trial for a grade 2 race, and she wasn't. She lugged in. She had awkward steps. It looked like she was going to just dash straight to the inside rail until she couldn't go anymore. Complete throw out. Change the rider, take off the blinkers, change the trainer. I'm going to give her a shot because there's one workout in February, that 1197 gate work, when they had 83 workers that day, and she was 16th best. I don't know if it's enough to beat this field. She might be a big price, but I'm going to give her a shot. 6th race. Fillies and mares, 3 to 5 years of age. They're non-winners. They're maidens, going 350. Scratch the morning line favorite, number 7, Curvaceous. Scratched the 11 and 12.
All right, so I ended up with number 3, CM Nova. This horse, was a neck behind the winner last time out in the maiden race. Not so bad at all there. You can look back. The one I like is 3 races back, right? So it's a maiden race there at Sam Houston on the 15th of May. Horse finished 6th in that race, but it was very tough. Look, all 3 of those top 3 went on to win their next race. So a very tough race there. And then after that one, went out, ran a 4th place finish, only by a length in that one. Went 250 last time out with that 3rd place finish. We'll see what happens with CM Nova. She does have 3 starts at this distance. Has a 3rd place finish to show for it. I like CM Nova here in this spot. Give me the number 9, Whistle Stops Eagle as my second choice. 10-1 morning line. I see you got this one on top.
Yeah.
I think this horse definitely has a chance to win this race. And then I got number 5, Jess Cookies Please, as my 3rd choice here. This horse is running a bunch of maiden races. Last time out went 400 yards in a Derby trial up at Prairie Meadows. Finished 6 of 6 in that one, so let's toss that one out. Trainer Brad Boland, he's been sending some horses that have been running very quick this meet so far. I'll give a nod to Jess Cookies Please to get up and hit the board.
I took Whistle Stops Eagle just because I thought her last race on opening night or second night was really strong. Favorite Peach, who we've not seen run back yet, was just dynamite that day. And this filly ran pretty well in behind that one. Was beaten a length and a quarter, but was very game to get second. I really was impressed by that race. The speed figure was good enough to compete with this bunch. And this filly has tossed in some races in her past that are good enough to win. It's just a matter of her executing. She does, occasionally have a little bit of a start issue, but, who among these doesn't? Valeria Cartel faces fillies for the first time in a long time. She's been running against males. She's been well bet. Hasn't really done that much, but could wake up in this spot. So I took her second. And Bailey's, I think, will run a lot better at 350, the 10 horse, than she did last time. She was in a race on the same night as Whistle Stops Eagle and really gave it up late in a 440 race. Now gets to go only 350, and her contention was really good in that race, but boy, did she stop on a dime right toward the end. 7th race, kickoff leg of the Pick 6, 1,367 in the Pick 6 carryover, 400 yards, non-winners of 2 claimers.
I've got number 6, Volcom's Relegate YG. Last 2 races for this horse, one at Retama, one here going 250 yards. Finished the neck and a head back in those 2 races. Going to have to go a lot farther today, 400 yards. But if you look 3 back, this horse did go 400 yards. Ran a good second in that one. I'm giving the nod to the 6 here. Number 5, White Sox, 20-1 morning line is going to be my second choice. Comes in here fresh off a win. It's had 2 starts so far this calendar year. Had that win last time. If you look at the first start this year, only missed by a neck and a runner-up performance there. And then I got the 8, DD Mr. Bob as my 3rd choice. Was a winner 2 back at Sam Houston. Second last time by half a length right here at Lone Star Park. Those are the only 2 races for that horse this year as well. Let's go 6, 5, and 8 here in race 7.
DD Mr. Bob's an interesting story. The trainer, Roberto Duenas, took this horse in July of 23 and then just had to sit around with him for a really long time. Apparently had some kind of an injury in that race. Didn't come back until Memorial Day weekend approximately of this year. Missed almost 2 years. Won first out for Duenas, and then was very competitive behind a pretty sharp VP prize time Hart in a race here on September 11th. So just figuring that he seems to have unlocked the secret to this horse. I took him, although Volcom's Relegate YG did run a really nice race last time on opening night behind TRS Lumbre, who really finished well that day. And a good race over the track is always a
I
good
always
thing
like
to
to
see.
see that.
Race 8. 8th race begins the Pick 5. $989 in the carryover. Scratch the 2 also eligible.
I went with number 10 from the far outside, High Tech Senator. Last time out, this horse was in a futurity trial. Ran 5th in that one out of 7. Had a bad start. Look at the 2 races before that. Both of them in Maiden Company. One at Remington, one at Sam Houston. Was 3rd in both of them, but was only beaten by half a length and 3/4 of a length in those 2 races. I think High Tech Senator, if this horse can have a nice clean start, that's the winner here. Number 5, My Lady in Lights, is going to be my second choice. This horse has only had one start that came at 350 yards. Was pretty speedy out of the gate in that one. So I like the cut back here to 250, cutting that 100 yards off of it. I think this horse could get up and finish in the mix. And then number 4, Baby Has Red Queens. That's going to be my third choice here. One start. Can't really get much worse than that last one. Was 9 of 9. Had a bad break. Was late on the break. So there's nowhere to go but up. So I'll take Baby Has Red Queens. I mean, whenever I see those Paragon Farms silks, those watermelon-looking ones, pink and green, they seem to run very well.
Yeah.
So, I think win. So I'll go ahead and put this horse up there. 10, 5, and 4 in the 8th.
Well, Trey Woods won a race each of the last 2 days, and I'm taking a bit of a swing here. I mean, I don't know if it's a home run swing, but I'm at least looking to hit one to the gap because I'm taking Baby Has Red Queens. I went back and watched that May 9th race. That was a Heritage Place Futurity trial, 22-1. That was a tough trial. The winner of that race, Bernina Express, is a really nice 2-year-old that's been in a lot of trials already. The other 2 that finished first and second won their next outs. This horse was nowhere near them. Terrible start. Just throw the race out. It was a fiasco. So it's like a second career debut 6 months later for this horse, or 4 months later at least. And I think this horse with a couple of works under his belt has a chance to upset this field. Big Daddy's Secret, I think, has a shot on the inside, has basically been facing good ones. Needs a little wake-up call, and maybe this spot will do that. My Lady in Lights was in a Four Corners Futurity trial at Sunray back in April. Ran decently, I guess. She was 4-1, so they liked her in there. The winner of that race, Swifty Swift, was the top qualifier out of that race for that Futurity final. Was favored in the final, finished second, but was disqualified for interference. But Swifty Swift is a pretty nice young 2-year-old. So, My Lady in Lights, or whatever her name is that the name?
Yeah, that's it, My Lady in Lights.
Yeah, My Lady in Lights, I mean, she may end up winning it. I don't know. I just decided to try to beat her. So, taking a couple of swings today. Race 9. 250 yards. This race does start at pick 3. It's on races 9, 10, and 11. The program says something else, but pick 3 starts here. Scratch the 8, CM Valentine Wings, and the 11 and 12, the 2 alsos.
Yeah, let me have number 6 here. That is Huey's Wild Baby. This horse does have a race over the track this season. That was the most recent one. That was in a condition allowance race. Finished 4th in that one, beaten by a length and a half. That one went 3:30, so we're cutting back in distance. I think that's going to help this horse out. This horse does seem to show some speed early on in races. Can get out of the gate well too. I think Huey's Wild Baby could have a big impact on this race. Number 2, Kiss My Legs By. That's going to be my second choice. He's only had one race so far this year. That was in a trial out at Albuquerque. I always like horses making their second start after a layoff. Bam, Kiss My Legs By is doing that right here. This horse did run in the Ruidoso Juvenile last year, so not bad at all there. But we'll see if this horse is ready to go second off that layoff. And then I got the inside horse, Gansita, as my third choice. Horse was a winner 2 starts back. Won that race by a length and a half at 300 yards. Showed a lot of speed in that one. We'll see what happens with the 1. But Gansita, I think that means goose, doesn't it? Do you speak Spanish?
I used to. I still know some words. I'm not sure, though.
All right, I could be
I'll
mistaken.
believe you.
But so I could have said anything then.
No, that's okay.
The goose.
I'm taking a little bit of a swing here, too. I don't know what's going on. Is the only horse in here. Well, wait a minute. Let me make sure that's accurate. Yeah. The conditions of this race are for non-winners of 2, and they're all non-winners of 2, I do believe, except for R.J. Good Woman Blues, who's won 3. Or they could be for non-winners of a race other than a maiden or claiming race. That's the angle that R.J. Good Woman Blues is on. No, I wouldn't pick a horse just because she has the most wins in a field. But what I like about her is she's a quick breaker. She's usually forwardly placed, and she's shortening up to a rather short 250 from longer races. She's been Huey's Wild Baby is, to me, kind of a mystery because her speed figures are very consistent and very good. And she finishes well, up close in every race. It doesn't matter if it's a 12-5 claimer or that time-conditioned a lot. Same race every time. It should relate to a good performance here. But I took her second. Monticello is intriguing to me as well. I love the way she got going last time out before finishing second in a race on the second night of the meet. Race 10. 10th race, 400-yard allowance. 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 4 or non-winners of a race in 2025. This is a tremendous race. I love this race. It's not often you just happen across a race with a All-American Futurity winner in a race that isn't named something. But that's what we have here.
Yeah, that's what we got here with Cowboys Gun Z, the 8. I'm going against Cowboys Gun
so
Z.
is Rick Lee.
All right, I see you have the horse picked on
Rick
top.
Lee busted him all the way down to, third.
That's where I got him as
fourth,
third as
now
well.
Third, yeah. No respect for the
I
All-American.
know, right? I mean, that's tough.
Well, there's a reason for that, and I'll explain. I'll give the good and bad about him in a second.
D4s, number 2, that's going to be my choice here. I mean, this horse hadn't run since last year, though, so kind of a question mark. Yeah, there's a lot of layoffs here. But I'm taking D4s. This horse has run well at this distance at 400 yards, has 3 wins out of 12 starts, has a second and a couple thirds as well, has a win over our track here. You can see this horse is running a lot of stakes races, can get up there and can compete with them. So I'm taking the 2 there. Number 1, Copper Pipes. That's my second choice. Last time out, this horse was beaten by 2.5 lengths, but before that, I mean, this horse was up there, neck, right? So it was right up there close. Had a 550 yard. I like the horses that have had a 550. 400 today, just like last time out. We'll see what happens with the 1. And then Cowboys Gun Z, the 8, All-American winner from a couple years ago. Had that time off since right here last year for a trial for the Texas Classic. Let's see if this horse is back and ready to go today.
He's a little bit of a one-hit wonder. I mean, his day to shine was the All-American Futurity. Now, if you're going to have one day to shine,
that's a day, right?
That's it. Kind of like apocalyptical Jess. He was chasing around another big win for a long time, but he won the All-American. Now, this guy, Cowboys Gun Z, his works are spaced out for Michael Joyner, but they seem pretty good. He's been off, like Rodney says, for 11 months. But DeForest is coming off a layoff. So is The Devil Made Me Do It, who I think has an outside shot in here. So is Jess Call Me Jess. There's several of them coming in off layoffs. The good thing about Cowboys Gun Z is he's tested against really good competition. Doesn't always run up to par in those, but he's run against nothing but top-notch horses in trials and a few finals. The drawback is, I think he's kind of a head case. I mean, he's fractious about half the time. He gets a fractious call, and he hurts himself at the gate. I mean, not literally, but he costs himself chances at the gate. That worries me. Much like our boy, he's a Jet 1, one of my favorite horses.
Yeah.
Once again, did not get off well yesterday, and that led to him getting bumped. And you just, you do that enough, you're going to end up costing yourself. I'm going to give Cowboys Gun Z a break. He's taking blinkers off, coming in fresh. I can't pick against him. I just kind of like to see the old classic winners come back. 11th race. 2-year-olds, maidens, going 250. Scratch the 9, BM Candy Royale, and scratch the 2 also eligibles.
Give me number 8 here. He's a fighter. He's a higher fire. 2 starts for this horse. Both of them coming at Remington earlier this year and just missed by a neck in both of them. Maybe the third time's the charm for the 8 horse on top. Number 7, a Corona with Perks. I'm taking this first-time starter trained by Brad Bolin. He's had some quick horses this year. He's had some wins. I think this could be another one of them.
Working fast.
Yeah, this one's been working very quickly. Yeah. And then I got number 6, another first-time starter after that, Fear of Jess. I'm going with the kind of connections here. La Feliz Montaña Ranch, they always send out some very solid 2-year-olds. Xavier Rodriguez, he trains for them, and they win some races, some big races. So, I think this one might have a shot here just based on that.
And you have works. You see an LFM, like Fear of Jess has a work at LFM. That's the La Feliz Montaña Training Center.
Right.
Down in Texas, or elsewhere in Texas. I'm with He's a Higher Fire, too. His dam, She's a Dash of Fire, couldn't really run. She was 0 for 10. But She was a full sister to a world champion, one of the best horses of the last decade. He's a dash of fire. So the breeding is in there. The pedigree is in there. Now, the dam couldn't get out of her own way probably, but he's a higher flyer, has run 2 nice races back in the spring at Remington, and I think he deserves to be a heavy favorite in this one. There's also a well-bred one on the outside in that 11th race, Apolitical Blue, out of a tremendous mare, Sasme Blue, and this horse has literally, been back with the chase truck in the 2 starts, but he could run a little bit better in this spot. On to the 12th. 12th and final, high 5 carryover building, 4,206. Scratch the 9, Candy Baby, and scratch the 12, Gorgeous Tea. That means Flies Like an Eagle gets in, and that's my pick and Rick Lee's top pick in this one, but I see.
Boo, not at all.
Yeah, just look to,
just
put it in play.
Just get safely on base.
Yeah.
But Aggie Kisses, this horse is running 3 futurity trials, a couple of them up at Remington, one at Retama Park. That was for the TQHA sales futurity. Has been well beaten in all of them. But, I'm going to give this horse an excuse. I mean, if you look at last time out, he faced against Holy Guacamole. He was the winner of that when he faced that horse 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
This horse is
lots of italicized.
He's faced a lot of next out winners.
Yeah.
So that's what I was looking at and saying, well, this horse was finishing behind them, but they went on to win. So I'll go ahead and give the Aggie Kisses the benefit of the doubt here. I went with number 11, Flies Like an Eagle, second that y'all have, and then I took the 7, Hawkeye Hawkins, as my third choice here to round out the card. Last 2 races, both of them third-place finishes. One in maiden race, one in the futurity trial. I think this horse might be able to get up for third once again.
Yeah, I'm very similar. I mean, we just have our top picks switched. Flies Like an Eagle did not, get away very well on September 6th. Wound up just kind of going evenly, but was 9-10 in the wagering that day, and was really a disappointment. But did not break sharply, so I'm hoping that she breaks better today. Aggie Kisses has been facing really tough ones in those trials at Remington and Retama, and it could go much better with these, and Trey Woods' barn's really heating up. So good way to wrap it up. Those are Texas-bred 2-year-old fillies in the 12th. All right, we got to go. We're 29 minutes to post. Big crowd still filing in, so get those dollar hot dogs and all the other dollar fun. And you can see Rodney in the paddock tonight. Be sure to wager early. The lines might be a little longer than normal. If you use a self-bet machine, make sure to get your balance back out of that. Don't leave money in the machine for the next person.
Yeah, and
that won't help anybody.
The big thing is pick some winners tonight.
Exactly.
Pick some winners, make some money, drink some dollar beers, eat some dollar hot dogs, and just have a good time out here at Lone Star Park.
It's a beautiful night for the races, so enjoy, and thanks for looking in. In the event of an emergency, Lone Star Park is dedicated to ensuring the safety of our patrons. This video